sure you're very excited to start playing games and smoking up, if you're not already. Please do light them if you got them. I won't go on very long now. Why does nothing change with the federal government? Why does nothing change in Washington, D.C. on any issue? War, inflation, spending, criminal justice, cannabis. Why? Shay, tell me why. Because Republicans and Democrats, because Republicans and Democrats are basically two sides of the same coin. The same donors, the same big moneyed interests funnel money into the DNC and the RNC, and they do what they want them to do. The lobbyists write the bills. They give the bills to the DNC and the RNC. Those bills get funneled down to the committees. They are guaranteed to pass because the RNC and the DNC choose who's going to run for Congress, basically. The people that are compliant get to run. The people that are corrupt get to run. The people that volunteer and want to have justice and want to fight for cannabis and criminal justice reform and for peace, for actual peace and against corruption, get primaried out and they don't get funded. That's why I'm running. I'm against the corruption. I'm running to disrupt the corruption. I'm running for United States Senate against both Tammy Baldwin and Eric Huffey. So why isn't cannabis legal? Well, the Libertarian Party, of which I'm a member, has been for full legalization since its formation in 1971. We've been fighting for that since 1971. And every once in a while, you'll hear from a politician on the federal level that they want to legalize cannabis. You guys remember when Barack Obama was running for president in 2008? Remember what he promised to do? Other than close Gitmo? We're gonna get cannabis off the schedule. We're gonna legalize it, right? And what happened? Did he do shit in 8 years in office? Did he even try? No. And why? Why? Because he's a politician. Because he's a Democrat. And it's the same with Republicans. Present company accepted. Shay's one of the good ones. Very few good ones. But one of the good ones.
He doesn't know Chad yet, so no offense, Chad.
Sorry, Chad. Introduce yourself in a bit. But that's why nothing changes. And can something change is my question. What would it take for something to change other than some catastrophic event, the dollar to crash, the government to fail, for us to get invaded, for a real pandemic to come through? What would have to change? Well, we have to fight. We have to get people elected to office who are willing to unsubscribe to the two-party mindset. If you care about something, and your candidate cares about something, or more than one thing, or multiple of things, if you agree with everything they say, then you should vote for them. Don't play the lesser of two evils game. Because cannabis will never get legalized playing the lesser of two evils game, because all Democrats and Republicans are paid for it. And what are the big lobbies that funnel money into Congress and keep cannabis illegal? Raise your hand if you've got an example. What are the big lobbies that don't want cannabis legal? That's one.
Pharmaceutical.
Alcohol, pharma, alcohol, paper, law enforcement, health insurance, prisons for profit. All of those forces are spending money on politicians to put in front of you to make promises, to lie to you, and then hopefully you'll forget about it by the time the next election cycle rolls around, and you'll vote for them again or believe their promises again. So don't believe what they say. If they've got an R or a D after the name, there's very, very few exceptions to that. They will mislead you. And there's another obstacle though too. Even if it seems like things are starting to tip our way in Congress, what's the danger? We talked about this on your podcast about a month ago. The danger is that the big money interests become involved in cannabis too. And part of the reason that I fight for it to be completely off the law, decriminalized, not taxed any special way, you should be able to grow it in your yard, sell it to your neighbors, whatever, just like you can grow tomatoes or whatever, is because once it's taxed and under control of the federal government, even if it's legal, they'll be able to control entry to the market. And the farmers that we talked to a few weeks ago will be out of business because they'll create barriers to small operators, barriers to you having it yourself. Right now, alcohol is legal, right? But you just can't put up a still in your garage and make it. You can only make 200 gallons of wine, and that's a lot of wine, 200 gallons of wine per household a year, but still there's a restriction. And why is that? Because they want you to be safe? No, because they want tax. They want control. They don't want competition for those lobbies who pay them money to do exactly what they want them to do in Congress. So remember that when you vote in all federal elections, especially this one, U.S. Senate. Again, I'm Phil Anderson. I'll be on the ballot as disrupt the corruption. That's what it will say on the ballot. It will say Tammy Baldwin, Democrat. I don't know if she's first or not. Eric Hovde, Republican. Phil Anderson, disrupt the corruption. You'll see that on your ballot in November. You want to write it in. Remember what I'm fighting for, and that is I'm fighting for all of us against that club that George Carlin said, there's a club that runs this country and you're not in it. We're not in it. I'm not in it. Tammy Baldwin and Eric Cubby are in it. So if we want things to really change, not just on cannabis, but on anything that represents freedom and the things that people should be free to do as long as they're not harming anyone else, anything that applies, there's no choice but to vote for me and not vote Republican and Democrat in November. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it very much. I don't like using the mic, so everybody can hear me, all right? Okay. Closing ceremonies. Now we're getting closer to the 4:20 hour, but we'll let the games begin. I do have a few thank yous. I'm just going to run through them real quick. John, thank you for finding Heather and letting her into your life and helping with this event and all that kind of good stuff. She's the best thing that ever happened to you. You better hold on to her. Hold on to that one.
Hey, I helped make her.
Dad deserves a round of applause. But thank you, John, for the venue. It's been awesome. Steve, where's Steve? Threw down for some pies today. Gotta love that. My buddy Nick's still here. All our image work on our websites, our logos done by Nick. Drinks were on the house. Thank you, Sean. Woo! We also Village Pharm, right?
Village Pharm, yeah.
Yeah.
If you like them, feel free to visit our website. Shoot us a review, would be appreciated.
Yeah, Google reviews. Yeah, Google reviews do not cost you anything. Leave good ones. We did have some beverages from Carbon Cannabis. Austin sent us some. 3 Tall Pines, thank you for all the support, always coming out for the booth, the shelter, the smoke. Visit their dispensary in Madison, shop online. All of this would not be possible without my overall election coverage sponsorships. That's Green Web Design right here, Jessica, she does all our websites. My attorney's not here, Kirk Everson, if you're here, we do love you. If you get in trouble, which you're not going to, give them a call. Again, 3 Tall Pines, all the support always. Green Thumb Alternatives, they have a shop in Point and Oshkosh. The Ignite Dispensary family, they got like 7 locations. I gotta write them down. Hayward, Manitowoc, Milwaukee, New Richmond, Spooner, Superior, Webb Lake. Stoner's Travel Guide. My buddy Gene Checks here's got a book you must have. It's called The Stoner's Travel Guide to Upper Michigan. The website is upertopia.com. Our Cole Hemp in Oshkosh was not here today, but they love us and they're always helpful. We have a smoke shop up in Shawano called LSD, and she has a sister shop up in Michigan. They've been big supporters, so let's just give a round of applause for all of the candidates again one more time, and everybody will help put this together. Thank you so much. Let the games begin.
Thank you.